Hello, race fans, and welcome to Atlanta for race number 3 of the Duralast Cup Series. We are here to hit the high banks of Atlanta for this mile-and-a-half track for about 65 laps. And we have a lot of storylines to hit here, and the starting lineup will start to roll across the screen. It was kind of rushed the last race, so we'll take some time to look at your starting lineup on the bottom of your screen as we start to hit the headlines and start to look up at the guys starting up front. Your points leader coming into this race is Cal Lovell in the number 44 machine. Second in points is starting on pole today, and that is Darren Ingram in the 10 machine, looking to improve on his early success in this season and hopefully get that points lead coming out of today. And we will show you the whole entire points grid after this race, so have no fear of no longer being able to look at the points grid, but it's going to be a fun race here today, as right alongside Darren Ingram on that outside line is Mark Madison in the number 69 machine. And then starting third, the driver who won and dominated Walt Disney, Matthew Steelman, starts third. Alfredo Faggio had a problem at Walt Disney, was having a good run though before he had to go a lap down to do mechanical repairs. The number 98 machine, that is Travis Crampton, will be starting fifth alongside Adam Garcia, looking to have strong days. Grant Kelderman and Sean English on row number 4, and GMS Racing Team teammates of Riley Smith and Austin Spencer will be on row number 5. Pace car is going to drop to pit road, and we are very lucky to see the green flag fly here at Atlanta on a very cloudy day. And what a start by Ingram. He's got the lead at the moment as he's going to lead the first lap, but it's not going to last for long. Steelman wants the lead. He goes down to the inside of Ingram for the race lead, and they are already 3 wide towards the back part of the top 10. The ticker is going to come up on the screen now. And we are going to have some pack racing here to test out the new package here for the mile-and-a-half tracks. There's not many on the schedule, but it will close the field up together, and it will create some very action-packed racing here. The number 21, Grant Kelderman, having a strong run earlier with his teammate leading. Here comes Alex Seufert, though, in the 35. He had a stout run at Walt Disney. He's up to second now. The field is going to shuffle back and forth all race long until we have the dominant cars out front. The 35 to the inside for the race lead. Spencer is the next car in line behind Seufert on the inside line. In this race, we could possibly have pit stops. We did not have any at Walt Disney. They did not come to pit road at all in that race. Steelman's going to be pushed up really high on the racetrack by his teammate of Kelderman, as Kelderman swoops down to the inside, side by side for third, and looks like second now as Austin Spencer is going to drop back on the outside line. Seufert's going to run away with the lead for the moment. That draft from the 21 will pull that 21 right up to the back bumper of the 35 heading into turn number 1, and it sure will, as he is right on his back bumper and will push him up to the outside. Kelderman is going to get to the lead here with help from his teammate of Liam Konshu. Steelman Enterprises as a whole has been having a great season so far in speed-wise. They just need to carry those results and continue to have them, as Zachary Fitzwater having a good run today. To start this race out in second, his teammate for the Toyota Racing Alliance, this 75 of Benny Watson, started on the pole for the Daytona 500. Did not quite capitalize in that race and had a not-so-great race at Walt Disney, but running up front right now is exactly what he needs. In this Toyota Racing Alliance team, that's exactly what they need as a whole, as he runs up in the top 5. Steven Merzlak. He's been struggling the last 2 races, and he is looking to rebound here at Atlanta, leading the way for SMR. His other 2 teammates mired back in traffic as Kyle Lovell comes into this race as the points leader over Darren Ingram. Both of those cars mired back in traffic as the draft will shuffle cars throughout the field multiple times in this race. As you see, Merzlak's going to go to the inside of Watson and Fitzwater here, as Seufert's going to be able to get down to the bottom. Well, not quite, as Sinor in the 16 is all the way on that low side. And there's Zhao Ming making his way up on the inside line for Millennium Motorsports. Millennium Motorsports as a whole did not have a great race at Walt Disney. Two of their cars had engine problems, including Zhao Ming. And the other two had okay days, but they just looking to see if they can address what these mechanical issues have been for their race team. As Grant Kelderman continues to lead the way here early, Austin Spencer settles in for second, and Steven Merzlak in third. Fourth goes to Zhao Ming at the moment, but we got a battle for the lead. Austin Spencer to the inside has no help, but Kelderman is not on the preferred line as he's going to get shuffled out to that second groove. If Kelderman can get the run off the corner, he can hold the lead. Merzlak's going to go to the outside to help him, but Ming is down on the bottom. And Spencer is going to try to run away with this lead here as he's got cars side by side behind him. And this draft package working out really well. Everybody's still in the running here as Zhao Ming on the inside getting help from Seufert. As Seufert just loves to be up front, and anybody would love to be up front, as he is just trying to make sure he has known that this single car team, as this single car team kind of has an alliance with SMR, which is owned by Steven Merzlak in the 4. And that's definitely helping that 35 team with their speed in this series so far. Had a decent running at Walt Disney, definitely showing it here today, as Zhao Ming is going to go to the race lead on Austin Spencer, as Spencer getting help from Kelderman on the outside line, and Spencer getting a little bit of a push, as looks like Seufert's going to make it 3 wide for the lead. As Spencer trapped up on the very high line, 3 wide for about 3 rows deep up front. And how about Jack Dufit in the 8 car on the inside line, and Cal Lovell in the 44. That's 2 cars we haven't seen yet in this race, and they're getting dicey here. Spencer almost got shuffled to the 4th line. And we know that that's going to be troublesome if we do ever get 4 wide at this racetrack. 4 wide is not what you want to see here. As Cal Lovell and Jack Dufit, new runners here up front. Lovell has the points lead coming into this race, as I have said multiple times, but he would like to show why he is the points leader and hopefully keep it for many races to come and show that speed out of the SMR camp. As Sean English is going to power his way to 5th place for Dalton English Motorsports, for English Dalton Motorsports. I'm not completely sure or remember how their team name goes, but that racing machine doing really well in the 5th position right now. And Nathan Stapleton in the 54. He's not really had the most speed out of that race car that he would like, but he's had consistent finishes inside the top 15 the last 2 races, which has helped him in the points, and hopefully that can continue for him, as the top 4 are single file at the moment. But Jack Dufit wants second from Ming, and he might get it here coming out of turn 2, because Ming is sliding up the racetrack just a little bit, and he's not quite there, but Lovell could take that 3rd position if he's not careful, as they are nose to tail for these first couple spots behind Seufert, as he continues to lead the way here, as he is having a very successful day up front. He's not really dropped back at all, as some drivers have cycled to the front and to the back at this point, as Jack Dufit's going to go to the inside and take away the 2nd position if he can get the momentum off the corner. But Ming actually gets a good run. That's one of the few times we've seen the Highline work today. And they are slicing and dicing. Stapleton's going to go to 5th here, as English is trying to hold on to 6th place. As how about Dion Moon, the Daytona 500 winner, right up in the top 10, making some noise. As you see the Steelman Enterprises cars making their way back up on this inside line. Steelman and Conchu trying to push their way up that inside line and get back up front. Steelman trying to make it 2 for 2 in these last 2 races after having a very unfortunate Daytona 500. And Jack Dufit going back to the inside, seeing if he can make it work against Ming for 2nd. And it looks like he'll get it, as Stapleton's going to go to the inside of Lovell. That's for 4th, I believe. And Dufit wants to go for the lead, as he's got a little bit of a run on Seufert heading into turn 3. And it's just enough to get the inside line. Seufert side by side with Duthick coming out of the corner. But Cal Lovell's going to try to make it 3 wide for the race lead at the line. What a move by Lovell. Can he make it stick in turn 1? He's sliding just a little bit. Seufert in the unpreferred line up on that very high line. And Cal Lovell looks like he's going to take the lead away as Seufert is dropping on that outside line. No help up there. Lovell to the point. Duthick not done yet. He's going to go to second and go to the inside, looking for the lead on Lovell. Jack Duthick has the preferred line. He's got some help from Benny Watson in the 75. And they are 3 wide all over the place on this racetrack, and Ming's going to get shuffled out of line on the 3rd line as Conchu helping the 75 get to the front of the field. And how about John Peterson? That's the first time we've seen him today. He did not have a great day at Walt Disney. Trying to redeem himself and have a good day here. Gets slid up the racetrack a little bit by Riley Smith in the 99. As Benny Watson trying to go for the lead on Jack Duthick. And he's got some help from Lovell, who tried to make it stick on the inside, but Peterson's going to shove him out of line as they are 3 wide for that position. And it looks like Duthick got Watson at the line, but Watson's not done yet. He's going to try to continue to fight for this lead. And the outside line starting to work just a little bit. As you can see, Duthick edging Watson in the corner, but if he doesn't clear him in 3, and it's probably Watson's lead out of 4. And that's what it'll be for now, as Watson's going to shuffle to the lead. John Peterson's going to battle for second now against Jack Duthick. Conchu's in 4th. Sid Noor has charged his way up to 5th. Seufert's found his way back on the inside line, and he is marching his way back up front. He's just in 6th. Ming on the inside as well. And Sid Noor is going to push Conchu out of line. And he's going to try to go for 3rd on Peterson. Jack Duthick is a strong race car, and he has got some speed and drafting ability. He's going for the lead on Benny Watson. Sid Noor getting a little bit loose on the inside line, but he's going to try to fight for 3rd against Peterson and go for 2nd on Watson. And Watson's going to stick on that 2nd lane, as we have been shuffling through the field multiple times in this race. And Watson made the outside work there. He's going to draft off the 8 and try to get some momentum to get back up front, as they are slicing and dicing for position throughout the field. Ming's going to push Seufert up the track. And Millennium Motorsports has addressed that they have not shown a lot of pleasure with this 35 team after that Daytona wreck, because it took out 2 of their race cars in that wreck. But right now, they're just racing each other as fairly and equally as possible, as Duthick and Watson still battling for the race lead. They've been kind of going back and forth, but here comes Sid Noor on the inside line, getting help from Seufert. And we have been green all the way so far. I don't want to jinx it, though, because they have been racing quite fairly. Watson and Sid Noor making their way up on the inside. Duthick gets shuffled out of line. Sid Noor on the inside line going against Watson for the race lead. And he might get it, because Watson does not have help to get any momentum off the corner. Sid Noor to the race lead. Seufert to 2nd if he can get by Watson into 3. And Liam Conchu showing that he's got a strong race car here today. How about Madison Tull in the 97? First time we've seen that driver up at the top, almost in the top 5. Took her about 28 laps to get there, but that is where the 97 is right now. 3 wide for 3rd. And we got a little bit of dicey action here. We almost went 4 wide as Steven Merzlach was making that 4 car almost make a 4th line on Derek Hamill. They somehow managed to get out of that as Sid Noor and Seufert battle for the race lead. And Seufert's going to charge onto the inside line, looking for the lead on Sid Noor. Seufert's got a really fast race car here today. Kelderman's up to 4th, trying to get to his teammate's back bumper. Peterson is battling for 5th against Dan Asher. That's the first time we've seen him in a while on this racetrack. We haven't seen much of him today, but he's up here trying to battle and help his teammate of the 16 out. Spencer was up front here earlier, but he dropped back, and we haven't seen him since the early stages of this race. But Seufert's going to get shuffled to the outside of the line as the Steelman Enterprises train on the inside, led by Liam Conchu. And Kelderman's going to put it 3 wide. And he'll actually get back in line behind the 22. It might have been a team order there to work their way on the inside and see what they can get out of this. Because Seufert, with a really strong race car, is holding pretty strong on the outside line at the moment. As Conchu's going to get put 3 wide by his teammate, Kelderman. On the inside, a bunch of Fords ganging up here on that Toyota. Kelderman to the lead. Dan Asher is going to go to second place here pretty shortly. And Fitzwater's back up in the top 5. We haven't seen him since the early stages of this race. And they are just slicing and dicing for position all around this racetrack. A lot of exciting racing here, as this draft package is being very successful, and the Steelman Enterprises cars are battling for the race lead. Conchu's on the inside looking for the lead. Here comes Dan Asher in the 26 for GMS Racing Team. And he's up to 3rd. Fitzwater, though, wants that 3rd position on Asher. He's going to try to get it, as Conchu's going to lead at the line. And he's going to have that inside line in the turns 1 and 2. Kelderman pushed to the 3rd line. He's going to lose a bit of ground there. And that might allow Conchu to gap the field a little bit going into 3, but not by much, as the draft will suck the 23 right back up to the 22's bumper. And Peterson in 3rd now, as he's getting help from Benny Watson and Sonor, as they are battling side by side for position. And Matthew Steelman has worked his way back up on the inside after starting this race in 3rd. All the Steelman Enterprises cars doing really well here today, as Dan Asher's going to move Fitzwater out of the way for 2nd. And they're going to go side by side out of 4. As Conchu, the Duel 2 winner from the Daytona Duels, is leading this race, and we have passed halfway for sure. And Fitzwater is going to lose some ground on the outside line, as he's got no help, as Asher on the inside line is going to move up in front of Fitzwater and get that momentum to try to go chase down Conchu for the race lead. And they're still going 2 and 3 wide, and they have not lost a lot of grip compared to the start. They are all still pretty clustered together, as Steelman making it 3 wide on Sid Moore and Kelderman in the turn 1. Madison Tall on that inside line as well, trying to get by Sid Moore. And a lot of slicing and dicing here. We still haven't seen some race cars make their way up to the front, but they are single file for the first 4 spots. And the inside line just kind of faded there for a second. Sidnor was able to get out of the middle. And he's still side by side with Fitzwater. Madison Tall might have had a little bit of an issue going into 1 there, and he's kind of still, or she's still kind of having an issue right in front of her teammate too, letting a lot of cars by. Something must be wrong, or something must be amiss on the 97. 97 is going to be shuffled to the outside. We'll see if there's a bigger problem on the 97 machine, holding up a lot of cars on that inside line. The battle for the lead is taking place. Asher's got a run on the 22, going for the race lead on lap number 38. Side by side, and not a lot of drafting help from behind. They're kind of getting spread out here for the top few spots, but not for long. Even though the first time we've seen them single file like this around the racetrack at this stage of the race. As Steelman's got help from Sid Noor, maybe going to make a move for 3rd. No. They're going to go their own ways and make it 3 wide for the position, going in the turn 1. And Sonora's going to get it loose, and so will Peterson and Steelman. They're all getting loose, and that might allow Asher and Conchu to break away. And Steelman's going to drop in line for 3rd. Asher's good looking for the lead. And he's going to stay tucked in line. Conchu's going to break away a little bit more. Steelman into 3rd. Sidnor trying to take that spot away. Look at Grant Kelderman on the inside line. All the 3 Steelman Enterprises cars are doing quite well today. All running right up almost in the top 5. As the 21 getting help from Steven Merzlak on the inside. as John Peterson currently holds the 5th position over Grant Kellerman. So a lot of race teams doing quite well here today. The GMS Racing team also doing really well. 2 of their cars inside the top 5 at the moment, Asher and Sidnor. And looking at the ticker, we've had nobody drop out the race so far. That is good, as we're closing in on the 20 to go mark here pretty soon. And the question still remains if we'll have pit stops or not, as Khonshu and Asher are the top 2 at the moment. And they've broken away a little bit from Sidnor and Steelman, as the pack reforms behind Sidnor and Steelman as they're all bunching together. And there goes the 21 to the inside of Steelman for the 4th position. And a bit of momentum here by the 21, getting help from Merzlak. And Sidnor is actually going to shut the door on Kelderman, but I don't know if he'll be able to hold the line, and it looks like it will. Coming out of turns 3 and 4. The top 2 are still single file, but Asher really wants that lead, but if he knows he goes side by side, that pack's going to draw right back up to him. Asher side by side for the lead with Khonshu. Can he hold the bottom? Because by himself, he cannot do much, and that's how he's going to drop back in line. Sidnor hit the outside wall, and he's going to drift back on that 3rd line. No help for Sidnor. Steelman and Kellerman. Now 3 of the Steelman Enterprises cars are in the top 4. What a great showing by this race team today, putting on a show. Trying to get a 2nd Steelman Enterprises car to win today. Liam Khonshu's been leading the way at this point in the race and has not looked back. Asher's just not had a run to get around him. And Asher could get passed by Kelderman here for position, and that could be pretty big. Even though Asher's got a little help now, will Kelderman use that 26 to push him around the 22 to possibly give himself a shot at the race lead? And he will. Asher to the lead in the 26. And Kelderman's going to use the inside line. He doesn't have much help right at the moment, as the 22 is going to fade back for the moment being. And we have not seen any recognition of cars hitting pit road. And actually, there's the 13 of Austin Spencer. And that might not be a scheduled stop. He is rolling slow, and he's already a lap down. And we are 3 wide for the lead. Khonshu on the inside of Kelderman and Asher. Asher's going to get shuffled out of line. And Spencer's definitely a lap down. He must have had an issue not too long ago. Tough break for the 13. As Khonshu's going to get a push from Steelman here and Sidnor. A bunch of Fords working together here. And there's your first Toyota and Chevrolet up here. We haven't seen much noise from the Dodges in this point of the race. And looks like Austin Spencer just got off pit road as we see Steelman going for the lead on Khonshu. Side by side in the 3. Steelman, he's got the preferred line, and it looks like he'll clear the 22 by a definite margin out of turn 4. And we haven't seen any more race cars hit pit road here. Austin Spencer just, I guess, had an unscheduled pit stop. As the 51 of Matthew Steelman's back out front here in the Duralast Cup Series. Sidnor is using his teammate of Asher on the inside line to try to get back up to the lead. Sidnor's been up front, but he has not had a taste of the lead yet today. He would like to get there. As Peterson, Jack Tuthitt just remaining quiet here in line. Here's Alex Seifert coming through on the inside line, trying to get back to the lead. He's got not much help from behind, but he is there. Sidnor on the inside of Steelman trying to make things work, but Asher, can he push in there? Steelman's going to drop to the bottom to protect the bottom line. Out of 4, though, will Sidnor get a run? And I don't think he'll have enough of a run to be able to get to the lead. And in the 1, we're going to use the ground camera. And what a run here by Sidnor, trying to catch Steelman and get around him for the lead. And Khonshu's going to have the outside line. And almost the 16 slid up right into the 22. And he's going to slide up here again with his teammate to the inside of him, and Asher's going to lose a bit of ground to Sidnor. As Seifert has a big run on the inside line here. 15 laps to go at Atlanta. Steelman holding strong here against Sidnor and Khonshu. Asher in 4th. He's got a run trying to chase down his teammate. And these Steelman Enterprises cars that have been dominating this race. And Seufert on the inside line trying to make it work. Steven Merzlak's up front here. How about Dion Moon, the Daytona 500 winner? He is making some noise, trying to get some points in a good finishing position here today. As Steelman and Konshu are the top two steals, Senor just does not have the help he needs to get around the 22 or the 51. Seufert in fourth, battling side by side with Asher. And the two teammates are now going to go to work battling against each other for the lead, as Konshu is going to go to the bottom of the track in his Canadian Tire Ford. And Senor, with this battle, could possibly get around the race leaders. And he's got a little bit of a run. The 22 is going to clear the 51, but will Steelman cross over and get to the bottom? Yes, he will. And Asher slowing. He could be coming to pit road. And that's exactly what Asher's doing. Asher to pit road. We might be seeing pit stops here. Dan Asher to pit road. Ming, Garcia, and English. And the battle for the lead continues. This pit stop, though, could shape up the finish of this race. And it could shape out to be a caution if people wreck coming on the pit road being this cluster. Steelman, though, has the lead at the moment. But it looks like Steelman and Senor and Watson will be coming to the pit lane. And it looks like Steelman, Watson, they come in the pit. They come down to pit road. Peterson, Madison, Ingram, McGee, JP Cole coming to the pit lane. Seufert has the lead at the moment. Probably have more takers this time by. And this might prove to be helpful for the 13 if the draft is not that crucial compared to how it was. If the draft is important, then Spencer will not be the leader when this cycles through. But Kelderman leads a big group of drivers onto the pit lane, including your points leader of Cal Lovell. And a lot of drivers hitting pit road and exiting pit road. Seufert and Moon have yet to pit. So have Merzlak and Kunkel from the Steven Merzlak Racing Incorporation. Or Corporation, I should say. And all those cars coming to pit road. Jacqueline Corrego, Travis Crampton coming to pit road. And as the looks of it, Konshu is going to be your race leader, or cycle out to be your race leader. As we got a little bit of side-by-side here off of pit road, and that could prove to be very troublesome. You do not want to be side-by-side coming off the pit lane. And no troubles on the pit lane so far. Kelderman's going to cycle to second. The 3 Steelman Enterprises cars. Look at where they are. 1, 2, 3 coming off of pit road. Senor cycles to 4th. And that's where they will be if the leaders cycle out to where they are. And there is Moon. And I don't think he'll cycle to the race lead, but he sure will be up front in this pack. And that's a good stop there by Moon. He's going to go to 4th. Seufert's going to also be right up there in the running. He's going to be 6th when this cycles through. Only a few more laps remaining in this one, and as the ticker updates here, we should get an update of the order, and there you go. Konshu is your race leader. Kelderman, Steelman, Senor, and Dion Moon running in the top 5. Great run for the 25 machine, trying to back up that 500 win. Seufert's had a strong day, running in 6th. John Peterson's in 7th. 8th right now is the number 54 of Nathan Stapleton, having a great run. Diego Yepes, not talked much about the 77, has been quiet, but had a great stop and up to 9th. Mark Madison is up to 10th, and Merzlak trying to battle to get that position away from him. Dan Asher did not have a good stop, as he cycled out to 13th on the running order. Neither did Watson. He is in 15th. But pitting later did help out guys like Moon and Seufert, but we are closing in on the finish of this race. And we got a lap traffic, some lap traffic coming ahead, as Kelderman's going to cycle to the lead here. Nobody's going to lap down, but Austin Spencer will surely go lap down here to the leaders, as he has no drafting help ahead of him. As Kelderman's going to go to the lead. Steelman trying to go 2 in a row, trying to take that second position away from Konshu. Number 35, going to swoop down to the bottom of the racetrack, trying to make it 3 wide for second. Trying to separate these Steelman Enterprises cars. And Kellerman pulling away with the lead with 5 laps to go in this event. Seufert to the inside, getting help from Sid Moore, trying to get the second place. And Seufert's got a bigger run off of 4. Let's see if he can keep it against the 51 machine, and those Steelman Enterprises cars are strong. Seufert trying to represent here as he's going to try to get the second, and he will get it. He's going to separate those Enterprises cars, and Steelman slows up on the outside of the line, gives up the 3rd position to Konshu, and drifts back to 4th. Seufert now is going to run down Kellerman for the lead, and let's hope the 13 doesn't become a problem for the 21. As Kellerman is closing in on the finish of this race, as we only have about, I would say, 3 laps to go in this one. As Seufert is closing, but is going to need a little bit more help. Steelman in the 51 clears the 22 for 3rd. Sid Moore trying to go for 4th. Peterson, he's racing right up there in the top 6. And Moon is dropping off that pack, but he also got another pack forming back here, but it won't be in time to catch this main group of 7 cars. And there goes Kellerman to the inside of Spencer to put him a lap down. And this will allow Seufert to draw right up to the back bumper of Kellerman. And Kellerman's going to clear the lap car, but here comes Seufert. And the 13's going to block Seufert on the bottom. That could be the thing that seals the deal for Grant Kellerman in the 21. White flag is waving. Kellerman has the lead. No lap traffic ahead. Spencer is the buffer between the 35 and the 21 for the race win. And being a lap down will help that 13 if he doesn't mess around with Kellerman here. And it looks like Kellerman will do it. Through turns number 3 and 4, Grant Kellerman is going to take it back-to-back for Steelman Enterprises and win here at Atlanta. And what a strong showing for these Steelman Enterprises cars here today. Showing the speed even with the draft. And they knew how to work the draft. Seufert, if he didn't have the 13 in the way, I think he could have gotten there for the win. But a strong showing for him. Definitely a car to look out for with that SMR Alliance as a single car team. And we will show you the full running order here, as we did not encounter a yellow in this race, which is very surprising considering how they were racing. We'll go through the full running order here. Steelman finishes 3rd. Peterson, Sid Moore, that's your top 5. Your Daytona 500 winner finishes 6th. Konshu drifts back to 7th. Asher, Merzlak, and Riley Smith rounds out your top 10. Fitzwater, Stapleton, Madison, Watson, and Yepes are your top 15. Lamont, Crago, Tall, Kunkel, and Cole, that's your top 20. Crampton, English, McGee, Drake, Brock, and are your top 25. And we'll go through the bottom of your running order here. Duthit, Dalton, Lovell did not have a good finish to this race. Will finish 28th and will definitely lose the points lead. Ingram's going to finish 32nd, though. So we will definitely have a new points leader after this race, and you guys will get to see the points as they'll be shown after the conclusion of this race. As you see, Ingram, Ming, Root, and Spencer. That is your top 30, or that is your all 35 cars in the field. Spencer, the only car to finish off the lead lap, as he had to come to the pit road early for an issue, and very unfortunate there for the 13. But a great race there, a lot of action-packed racing, and Kellerman and the rest of the Steelman Enterprises cars were really fast in this race, and it will probably set the tone for how they will be in the season as Steelman Enterprises goes back-to-back in this series, and they are going to definitely be a race team to be a threat, or to be reckoned with as we roll for this series. And I'm running out of words as the time ticks down on our telecast here for the 3rd race of the season at Atlanta. Race 4, we go to Texas World, a new track here for, well, every race track on this series is new, but Texas World is a new face and a new appearance for the guys on this racing circuit, so we will see how that shapes up to be, and we should see a lot of similar racing there that we did here at Atlanta. A lot of pack racing that will determine the effects of the finish. So thank you guys for watching this race. The next race, as I said, will be from Texas World. And at the end of this video, you will see your points leader and the point standings of this series. Thank you guys for watching so much once again. I will see you guys for the next race. Congratulations to Grant Kettleman on the victory.